What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of the Quick Diz Takes podcast, episode number 37, which also happens to be the 1-year anniversary episode. And it could have been any better timed because we have had like all kinds of things going on randomly this week since one of our top news stories, obviously Iger stepping down and Bob Chapek taking over as CEO, and a couple of things. Notable things happening along the way that we'll get into in a little bit. But before we get into that, I'd just like to say once again, thanks to everyone that has supported us so far. Obviously, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Dan, for being there at the beginning, and Chris and Castro, who's helped us with the music and done a few freeform podcasts. Thanks to my wife and my daughter for giving up the time for me to do this, and obviously your wife as well, Sarah, who has been really kicking in the afterburners lately, getting involved. Really appreciate it, actually. And please like and subscribe, whether you're listening on YouTube or iTunes or any of those platforms. We do really appreciate it. As easy as this seems to be, and as good of a time as we have with it, it can be sometimes a little bit tough to get these things done, and so work goes in, and it's worth it in the end. But once again, we just appreciate you guys hanging around, and as we push 3,000 subscribers, hopefully we're sitting here next year this time with 6,000-7,000 or more. So we'll see. Anyway, so I was just telling Johnny, quick little glimpse into my life before we get into the topic. I'm wrestling in the living room a little earlier with my daughter, and I guess this makes complete sense that this is possible, but I'd never really thought much of it. I got a splinter in my foot. It had to have been that big. No, it had been that big, and it was god-awful to the point where my wife was out at Target, and my daughter decides to call my mom on Alexa and tell her that Daddy's got a splinter in his foot that he can't get out. And I'm going to be honest, I could not get this thing out. And so my mother and my stepfather come over like a child that I am, and they pry this thing out in 3 pieces. They had to so the whole needle thing where you kind of loosen the skin up around it. So it was they pull the piece and then get a little piece, and they pull the bottom piece, and then the middle piece was stuck, and then my mother finally got the last piece, and it was I thought my foot was going to come off my leg. Awful. But it's gone now, and we're good. So we can
get on to more important things.
We can get on to more important things. But it's been kind of bad luck around the LeBeau household lately because, that happened. And then, as I mentioned last week, my dog, Remy, as you guys have seen him appear in a few videos, you've heard him bark in our podcast. He now has diabetes. Otherwise known as diabetes. So yeah, but he's doing well with that. So we'll keep you posted on that as well. He's really good with the needles. It's actually funny. I would have thought it would have been a real big pain to give this dog a shot, but I don't know. It's weird. They doesn't even flinch when you give them these shots. So
hey, you got a tough dog. My dog knows when you pull into the parking lot to the vet and hates every second of it. So.
Yeah. And you guys had something going on where your dog was running around all silly in a diaper or something, wasn't he?
The diaper's something with the back end's infected, and
yeah, not good.
When they gotta, you usually get the haircuts and they clean them out back there. Something was so my dog's wearing a diaper right now.
If we can get a picture of that, I'll put it up. I don't know. Johnny's got one handy, but because I seen it. I think Sarah might have sent it to the carrier, but it was cute.
Yeah, she was wearing a nice little extra. We had an extra diaper from Christmas, so we had a little Santa Claus pattern on it. It was nice.
Love the dogs, but boy, when they get over, Johnny said it best last week before we went on. It's when they get to 9-10 years old, it starts to get there's always something.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. It's to think to myself, I got to give my dog an insulin shot 2 times a day. It's my life is now revolving around getting my dog insulin. But
Yep.
it's funny too because he's up and down. Like on Tuesday we bring him in and he's gonna do like what they call a curve. And so what they do with the dog is like they'll give him the insulin, or I'll give him the insulin, and it takes a little while, like I guess 3 to 4 hours to really kick in. I didn't know this. We had brought him in last week because we get a little bit nervous again, it being our first time with this and all. And they were like, yeah, sometimes it kicks in. So he like had his blood sugar was like in the 500s, and he had just had a shot. But they were like explaining to Carrie that like you're going to need to wait 3 to 4 hours for it to like really kick in to like settle his blood sugar down. And so what they do is 2 weeks in, they take him for the whole day and they like really see like what it's gonna do. And so we'll see if we're gonna need to like up the dosage or whatever. He has been losing weight and seems to be better. Like he's sleeping through the night. I was getting up like 3-4 times a night. You guys, like it was like terrible to like let him out because he's drinking water like a fish.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. We will see. And he's got cataracts, which comes with diabetes now, so he might be losing his sight slowly as well, unfortunately. But he's still got the energy, and he was barking at Johnny and stuff when he came in, so God bless the little guy. Anyway, let's get into it. 1 year anniversary episode. Couldn't it be any better? We got all kinds of stuff going on, and a really big one. So Bob Iger opts to step down as CEO of the Disney company, and Bob Chapek is now your CEO. Now, before we get into the discussion, brief timeline. Bob Iger is, as most of us know, planning on stepping down roughly around 2019. I guess they kind of talk him into staying on because they want him to oversee the acquisition of Fox and the launch of Disney Plus. All that goes about as smooth as you can ask for. Fast forward to February 2020, and out of the blue, this man steps down, and Bob Chapek has taken over. So I guess I'll give my opinion, and then Johnny, you're more welcome to give yours. I'm okay with Iger stepping down because we knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
But Bob Chapek, like, I mean, some people in the community and like people that like I respect in the community and kind of have like an influence in the community didn't even think this guy was good enough to hold his job as Parks chairman.
No.
And now he's running the company. So was this a knee-jerk reaction? Because, I mean, someone had to take over, and was the board not expecting this? Or did they just think that Bob Chapek was the next guy up? You know, like this guy, I think we can agree, the parks haven't been great under his watch.
No, there's been a lot of, everybody says he likes to, I guess you could say cheap. He's
bottom line guy. Can I throw that in there? He's a bottom line kind of guy.
Yeah, like it seems like his focus is more on the stockholders and the board and making them happy more than making the consumer happy.
Yes. Which we understand.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if it's a business, it has to make money.
But Disney is always, I mean, even when you go back to Eisner, and I might end up ranting here, and I apologize if I do, but I've read Disney War, and I'm going to be reading Eisner's book next, and you've seen our video on Eisner and all that good stuff. But Eisner, for all his faults, and all his, like, drive to make money, which is natural in the world of business, always kept a balance, though, right? Like, even when he cheaped out, he cheaped out. We got Diamond USA. We got a little bit of a rough start with Disney California Adventure, things like that. But they still had, like, that Disney attitude. Like, the magic was still there. The customer service was still there. And people feel like, and I'm one of them, that Bob Chapek's with his watch, I mean, he wasn't CEO, but with his watch in that department, he was not really getting it done. I mean, for example, you go to a photo, a meet and greet right now, and there's a box taking a picture of you.
Yes, which we had experienced that over the summer with the Tinkerbell thing, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Especially like looking at when you get the pictures. I mean, you obviously have the ones where you're smiling and all that, but the ones where it's just you're meeting the character and it's just this flat. It's just awkwardly going off at this like scheduled time instead of. And just getting you in weird things, but as opposed to, the physical person seeing something and taking a picture of that because it's a good reaction of the character meeting your kids for the first time. So, yeah, like that was, I know they've done it. They did it with the Mickey, the magician. They did it, but then they took it away. So I know there's people, so I don't know. That one.
I think it leaves just the thought of it, even if you hadn't experienced it. Right? Think about it. Just the thought of it. Like they're like, hey, you're going to Disney. You're going to go take a picture in there, and there's a box.
Yeah.
It's going to take your picture. It just
rubs
you the wrong way.
And even go, it's not. It's a difference of one person, because you still have the character, the person that's with the character still, and so it's just missing one person taking a picture where you're already not. I mean, it's not like you're paying these people. An exorbitant amount of money. You're paying them.
I don't know what they're paying them, but it can't be like.
It's not and it's not like they're professionals. They're hired and then they're taught how to take pictures. So it's not like you're paying professional photographer. Like it's like that's just a very little small cheap way to cheap it out. Like it's just.
We don't. I mean, I don't advocate ticket price increases on the show. However. If you raised each ticket price 50 cents, would that have covered it? Because if it did, then just do it.
Yeah.
Like don't. I mean, this is coming from two
the
people
amount that they raise the tickets anyway. It's
This is coming from two people that can go to Disney pretty much when they want, right? And now that's whatever. And a lot of people that listen are like people that go a lot. But now you're talking about people that are going for like the once in a lifetime or like whatever it is, once in 10 years, and all those kind of vacation people, and you're gonna sell them like on the idea that a box with an automatic timer is gonna take your picture when you're with the character meet and greet. Like, what's next? Are you gonna put screens in the back and the characters aren't even gonna be real anymore? Like, you're just gonna have like you're gonna take a picture of the side of Kylo Ren and he's just a screen image. Like I don't like. We like to be a happy show and like not complain too much, but I can go on and on about this guy, and I'm sure it's not just him. I'm getting to Iger in a second. He's got a book out too I want to read, but we can't speak to that today. But point is, where are we going now from here? Like, you can't keep cheaping out.
No. Like, even now, under his...
It doesn't even make any sense.
Like, under his watch, was it... Toys. So
they combined. So
Toy Story was under his watch, right? The Toy Story Land building was.
Yes.
Which, I mean, it's what the result of it is nice, but I'm sure the initial concept of it was 100 times more, and he cut it back. The same thing. People have said.
Eisner did it too.
Galaxy's Edge was. I mean, Galaxy's Edge is amazing, but
it is pretty amazing.
There was supposed to be a lot more that another thing he cut. I mean,
but with that though, can I say this? With that came from the top.
Yeah.
Like Galaxy's Edge was going to happen from the top, right? And like he just happens to like oversee that. So I'm not sure where his role comes in, like as far as what he does, like how much he actually had to do with it being successful or unsuccessful, or what they spent versus what they didn't spend. I don't think they really cut too much with that Galaxy Edge, although excuse me, although there was supposed to be 3 attractions, I believe, at opening. But what I'm really trying to get at is like the Disney feel I'll go there tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But there are things that happened 5, 10, 15, 20, and beyond years ago that just aren't there anymore. Like, they're not paying their people properly, or they're not staffing properly. You have good cast member interactions, but not as often. I feel like, anyway. Maybe this is just my opinion. The parks aren't as clean as they once were. I mean, I've been in bathrooms that have been like...
Yeah, bathrooms are,
And it's not just this show we're talking about. I've heard this on other
it.
shows.
Yeah.
And this is a result of cheaping out to me. And, like, you don't need to. You got a great product. People want it. Don't cheap out.
Yeah, even just you have the character, like you're saying, I'm with the box, but, like, you have characters, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and then there's nothing there. Like, aren't they removing? Who are they removing? They're removing one of the monsters now.
Then,
like why?
They already did. It's just Sully now, right? Without Mike and Sully.
I think so. Yeah, and then
It's like just
Why?
chintzy.
Yeah.
Right?
The same thing with, I know, like, Epcot had the big character spot cut down, but, like, you walk into, is it an Imagination? Yeah, it's an Imagination. The end where you had Baymax, you had Joy and Sadness. Now why can't you see? They took away Sadness. Why can't you? I mean, it's a pretty big space there to take a picture. Why? What is that really saving in the long run by removing Sadness and removing Baymax to bring in? And I know they've been brought in, Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope because of the movie just coming out recently. But then, like, when we went, it was only Vanellope, and then Wreck-It Ralph doesn't come out for like 2 hours later. So what is the savings in?
I mean,
one character coming out hours later, or one instead of the two together. It's just
seems like you.
It's like a way cheapening thing. Like, what does that do?
Not only that, like, it's visible. Like, we're just fans, and we can see it.
Yeah.
Like we just talk about on the show, and like, so it's visible to like your fan base, and you're just like, really, like, this is how we're gonna play this. This is Disney. This is supposed to be like, here's any amusement park, and then Disney is somewhere, and like, this, and it still is. I'm not saying it's not, but and I know they are putting money into the parks with new stuff, but I don't think the solution to offsetting the budget is to go cheap on customer service and interaction and quality service. People like that. I want to walk out and just get a big smile and to be helped and for the cast members to be extremely happy at all times. And an abundance of cast members available for that. And these things are going away. At least, maybe it's not all on JPEG. I don't know how these things come down the pipeline. It might have something to do with Iger too.
Yeah, but I mean, he is the head of the park, so the ultimate blame falls on him. But
now, how often was he seen in the parks? Now that Josh D'Amaro's there,
I mean, yeah,
he's all over the place.
I don't know how many pictures you see online of Josh D'Amaro walk. I mean, everybody in Disneyland seemed to love this guy, so, and then now he's over here and he's constantly in the parks. You're constantly seeing
fingers
him
crossed.
with pictures. So maybe bringing him over to Walt Disney World, maybe he'll be promoted to Chapek's old position, which I
would assume so.
I thought of as soon as they said he was being the CEO now. So,
I hope so.
I don't know.
I want to see that. I want to see that old Disney quality come back. It's so worth it. And you can raise your prices on me all you want. I say that with a little bit of jest. But if you're gonna keep that kind of, if you're gonna keep the quality and raise the prices, you don't mind it as much. But like, they've gotten. Like, they have been times where they're nitpicky. Now, I don't want to harp on this too much. I want to jump over real quick. I want to segue now to Iger's reign real quick. All in all, successful, right? But I was thinking about it the other day. So I'm going to pose this question. It was good. He acquires Marvel. He acquires Star Wars. He acquires Pixar. Great. Mm-hmm. But are these no-brainer things? Like, are these the type of acquisitions that are just like they fell into his lap? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you'd be stupid.
Are you not going to make the same
You'd be stupid
moves?
not to buy them. Yeah.
So what happens now when there's not much left to buy? You know, so what do you like? Where is the like? Are we gonna get back to? Are we gonna go? Are we gonna have like another like renaissance where we're gonna get a little? We're gonna get back to some original stuff.
I hope that's what I really would hope. I would love to see an original something, anything
2D,
at this
a
point.
2D animated film.
Just something.
I mean, maybe Disney Plus will encourage that and give you a platform for that. But or the attractions in the park, even I'm all about the IP. I do. I like it. When they make a ride based on an IP, I get it. It's cool. No problem with it. However, I do like an occasional original attraction type deal.
I'd love to see something that turns into like what the Haunted Mansion Pirates were. Just this idea that became something, and then they made movies because of a ride,
and that's fine. Mm-hmm. And Jungle Cruise looks like it might be cool. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to that sinking ship in a second. But yeah, like can you what's the last like original thing that Disney's ever even made? Like in the theme parks. I mean,
I think Everest. I think is the last original attraction.
Probably.
Is either Everest or Soarin'.
I think it actually was. I think it actually was Everest.
I think it was Everest.
And as a matter of fact, didn't Iger make that little comment about Everest somewhere in his interview that Joe Rudy kind of rubbed Joe Rudy the wrong way?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was.
Where it was like, we're not going to sell people on a mountain.
Yeah,
something
like that.
I don't know the quote, but it just makes you wonder if that chapter in Disney history is just like where they just go to the Imagineers and say, hey, here's a budget, let's get a ride. It doesn't have to be based on a movie that we made our own, and let's get something cool. I mean, Magic, like you said, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Everest. It's a small world. I mean, pretty much everyone that they did do is considered a classic. Mm-hmm. Isn't gonna go away. So,
well, I'm hoping now he stepped down to be what is it? Some kind of creative role. So maybe he's gonna try to set stuff up for them to do after his official retirement. Like maybe I don't know where he sits with the Imagineers and creates something to set him up for the next couple of years after he's gone for good.
They can't get off IP. They just can't. And it's not a bad thing.
No.
Per se. Like if you pick a good IP, and like I guess we're all okay with it. Like when the ride comes up, like I mean, Star Wars is awesome. Avatar is awesome. I'm sure Ratatouille is gonna be awesome. I'm sure Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be awesome. I'm sure Tron's gonna be awesome. But it's just funny to think, like, I don't care about Tron. I don't think a lot of people care about Tron.
No.
I will watch it, and it's a kind of like a fun throwback. But I mean, you take the vibe with a grain of salt. You're gonna get on it. You're gonna enjoy it. But you're not gonna say like, I'm so glad I was just immersed into the world of Tron. Mm-hmm. You know. I don't know. But anyway, I think Iger had a great run. I can't really say much about him. He was successful. But it does beg the question, was a lot of it like good timing? Like if Eisner had all these IPs thrown at him in the 80s and 90s, he would have eaten them up too. Like at least with Eisner, he had like visions a little bit. Like, oh, let's go overseas and try this. Mm-hmm. Let's try to build Disney's America. It didn't work out, but it was a vision. Mm-hmm. Animal Kingdom was a vision. He did have some. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I guess.
Yeah, we just have to wait. I guess at this point.
And Chapek, it just makes me nervous. But we'll see at Destination D this year what he's got to say and what they have up their sleeve. Anyway, a couple more topics before we call it a day here, and that is nothing crazy to talk about, which is kind of funny. So the Jungle Cruise sank, basically, and it's just funny because I don't think that water's like any deeper than like 4 feet or something.
No, I don't even know if it's that deep.
Yeah,
no.
I don't even know if it's that deep. And so it was just funny. I had tweeted out about the 8th wonder of the world, the bottom side of water.
Mm-hmm.
Cracked myself up a little bit on that one, but I hope first of all on this topic that someone does put something in one of their scripts about
Yeah,
that,
I'm sure. Yeah, that something like that might happen.
because they're always saying like for the next 3-4 months I'm going to be your skipper, and if you don't laugh at my jokes I'm going to be a swimming instructor. So I had made a joke to one of my friends too that like maybe someone didn't laugh at the joke and they became the swimming instructor. But it's like kind of funny, like, after all these years I think this is the first time this has happened.
Yeah, I've never heard of it before. Yeah.
And I wonder like what it was. I don't think I've seen any videos, just seen pictures.
Yeah,
But like it's just a funny, like, imagine sitting on that thing
It's just very
it just starts
weird.
taking in water.
It's just weird, like an amusement park vehicle like that, a boat would sink it. You'd think, I don't know.
Well,
I know they're old, but
yeah, but they're literally like testing these things out every day and stuff.
You'd think, yeah. It's just, yeah. It was. I mean,
it kind of like adds to that. The Jungle Cruise, it can do no wrong.
no,
Right? Like if that
really,
happens, it's just more characters that's been added to the ride.
Yeah.
Now. Like that ride is weird.
I would have loved. I would have loved to have been on a boat that sank. It's a very cool. I'm sure it was a very cool experience for those people.
Too, like crazy. But that ride, like I always tell my wife, because she's always like, but she always enjoys it at the end. And I always said, like, if you lined up like 5 boats with 5 different skippers, and it was just me in the park, I would ride 5 consecutive times.
Oh,
with
yeah.
different skippers, because I don't know, it's just carved out a weird niche for itself over the years. It's silly, but it's just fun.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what else to say about it. Now I wonder what will happen to it when this movie comes out and all that stuff. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, just a funny story. And then so JPEG, people were saying someone had tweeted out like Bob JPEG has been in charge of the parks for CEO for like a week or whatever, and he's already brought back the submarine voyage.
Yeah.
And people were liking that one. That was kind of funny. But then laugh, and then here's 2 days later, and now People Mover trains are colliding on the tracks up there with no injuries or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I find funny is like there's no fail-safe in those things.
Yeah,
colliding.
I thought I would never.
This has happened before.
Yeah.
And I would wonder what would it feel like if you had your hand.
Oh yeah.
Like you're like relaxing doing one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Carrie had mentioned. Excuse me. There are certain spots of the ride that obviously go faster than others. I'm not really sure where they had hit, but the People Movers had some problems with that, and there was some kind of fire there a month ago.
With
what is going on?
Yeah, the entrance and exit thing. Yeah, there's a fire up there. Yeah.
I'll tell you what's going on. Some of these rides need to just get shut down and get refurbed. Man, they've been there forever. And
yeah, I don't even know the last time I've heard of a People Mover refurbishment. It probably
be careful because when they did that in Disneyland, it just never opened again.
Yeah, right.
We don't,
as long as
we don't want that to happen.
Don't bring rocket rods over.
We don't want that to happen because once again, the People Mover is just like Jungle Cruise. It can do no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It just is an odd. You get on that thing, you get on the line, you're going up there, and you're thinking to yourself, there's nothing that's going to happen here that's even remotely exciting, but I'm going to love every last minute of this 10-minute ride.
Yeah, really, nothing. Yeah, nothing's changed over the years and years of going on it, but still, it's like I feel weird if I don't go on it when I'm in the Magic Kingdom.
It's a must-do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny that, after all these years, they're having these incidents. But like with that one, there's been multiple. But with the Jungle Cruise, that's a new one. Been cool if that would have sank like right in the middle of the temple. You know, something like that. Because the temple is kind of like, it's like they make that eerie, you know, and so if it sinks in there, it could. I'm sure it's like some people got scared, because like some people are foolish enough to think that like that water is like 30 feet deep or something. And that's just obviously not. I mean, the boat's on a track. You ever watch the pilot? They just spin the wheel around. They let the kid drive sometimes and stuff like that. But it's actually funny to think that like it's actually almost better for the Jungle Cruise to have sank. Like it's gonna be like somehow it's gonna be better.
Something's gonna
it's gonna be funny. Anyway, those are like the three big stories. Obviously, with Iger like being the biggest, and the other two things kind of side notes. There was the whole thing of the swan and dolphin. Nothing crazy.
Which turned out to
SWAT
be
team
nothing.
Shows off. They thought there was
somebody
out there,
a gun or something, too.
I mean, it's only big in the sense that like you don't expect a SWAT team to show up to your hotel room when
and helicopters just be flying and circling over and over, and
But I mean, once again, it's one of those things where you see and you think to yourself like this should happen more often, really, when you think about it, because like this resort is so big and so widely visited.
Yeah.
That like you would think this would happen more.
Yeah, for that their safety is very. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's a very safe place. You don't hear anything. I can't think of what I'm supposed to be saying. I can't spit it out.
Yeah, I know. I think we all kind of get the gist, and it's like there is the Disney bubble, you know, and there's so people like you feel fairly safe when you're at Disney, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's never
you never even problem. Once you're there, you never even think of those things. Like that never crosses my mind at all. There's nothing.
Well, you just think about how much like someone have to go out of their way to like really make trouble on that resort too. Like doesn't seem. I mean, things happen, but it doesn't seem like that feasible. So.
Yeah, because I mean, as far as the security is very good when going to the parks, but then there's no security at the resort, so you would think some things would happen more often, but it's just that whole.
It's just like anything else, though. Like you get your crazies once in a while, and I don't. They said that nothing ever came of it. Now I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Because they keep everything quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
We won't find out till whenever they. They give the quarterly like incidents things and all like the injury reports. Then you might find out something. But
I mean, when they had that tragic incident at the bar in Orlando a few years back, that suspect was first kind of pinged and located at Disney Springs on the bridge area there. Mm-hmm. So, it's good to always keep an eye out and be on your toes. So it makes sense. Quickly. Lastly, we got like literally the smallest teaser I think I've ever seen on a ride. They're like really keeping this thing. I think Rise of Resistance was even more widely like spread by the time it was doing cast previews and stuff like that. But we got a little taste of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Very, very small piece. Looks insane.
It looks really good.
Yeah, right. It looks cool. I cannot wait to see like as that train continues into that tunnel, like what we're gonna see. We'll be sitting here next week, and at that point we'll have a whole lot more to say about it. Mm-hmm. Because we'll definitely. I mean, I would guess by the third or fourth we're gonna have a POV out. If not even by tomorrow. So yeah, but I've heard. We watched the video, and Johnny and I had skimmed through a video last week of a guy kind of explaining the pre-show and what he saw, and it all just sounds amazing, but I got to see it for myself. The train looks cool. I've heard things like you may start in the front of the train, by the end of the ride you may be in the back of the train, so the trackless ride system is going to do all kinds of crazy things, apparently. The set pieces seem. I mean, I'm sure most of you listening to this probably have seen it. I'm actually gonna probably put the little 30-second clip on the video if you're watching. You get to see the Mickey Mini animatronic on the car. Pull up on the side of you, get to see Goofy driving the train, and he's obviously a screen, but it looks legit. And the whole like first set piece where it's them in the park, and like it just looks like they put you into a cartoon, you know?
Yeah. Definitely looks. It's one of those
looks
very like, yeah. You're on the TV show basically, the shorts.
And going back to what we're talking about with Iger, now I'm thinking about it, I guess you could technically say this. I mean, yes, Mickey's an IP, but I'm not going to go as far as calling him like an IP because he's like the OG IP. So this could be technically an original.
Yeah, I mean, considering he's never had a ride for himself before, so yeah.
Disney ride, which is good. Like, it's refreshing to have this. I can't wait to check it out. Like I said, like Star Wars and all stuff is awesome. Like, you can throw anything Star Wars at me and I will eat it up. But something like this, it just feels classic, even though I haven't even been on it yet. From what I've seen, the signage, the idea of it, just feels classic.
And then those shorts definitely reflect the classic Disney
look.
So it definitely brings you back.
Yeah, they're very fun. You can watch it with your kids and like it's entertaining for everybody. That's great.
Yeah.
So that is like a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A tip of the hat for what we'll probably be talking about on next week's episode, because if that, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that VOV is out and we get to see everything, we are definitely dedicating an entire episode to talking about that ride and breaking it down. So be prepared for that. Other than that, I think we're done here. I think we're good. I think we talked about.
Well, the only other thing I just thought of was, it's nothing big. It was just that we have the date of Spaceship Earth closing.
Ooh, May 26th.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which I'm very happy that we get to experience twice that day.
Yes, we did.
So that was good.
It's because you guys aren't going to make it.
No, we'll be there.
We figured you were anyway, but
it was nice.
I thought it was going to close earlier than that anyway.
Yeah, so it was nice to get those last like 2 rides in that Epcot day.
And that's actually a good, quick little side discussion, because like now, so May 26th, so now what? We're not going to see Spaceship Earth again until May 26th, 2022.
Yeah, basically, if that's the 2-year
or maybe
time frame is true.
If it's 2.5 years, as they said, 2 to 2.5, maybe not even to 2023, which is kind of hard, like, to wrap my head around, like for a refurb. I mean, it's more. I guess it's kind of more than a refurb. It's kind of like a reskin.
Yeah,
somewhere
it's
in the middle.
definitely like a different type of. I mean, it's a different type of thing too with it. Just how the whole attraction is situated.
It needs it though. It really does. Like I love that ride. Like with like every green. Like I love that. That's one of my top 5 favorite rides of all time. But it needs the track, the ride. Like it just needs.
Yeah, it needs energy.
It needs something, and hopefully it gets it.
As long as they keep, like they say, they're gonna keep, like what, about half of it, pretty much. As long as you can still get that old look, and then with the new, it'll be nice.
You know what I'd love to see? I know it won't happen because of the budget and everything, but I would love to see it because it's so animatronic driven. It really is. Maybe the most animatronic driven ride. Oh well, I mean, it's up there with Pirates and things like that. Like, those are animatronic driven rides. Those rides depend solely on their set pieces. Just to get like the top notch animatronics in those, at least for the centerpieces of each scene. Like whatever the centerpiece is for each scene, like the king moving or the guy pounding the paper, or what's his face from Apple? I can't think of it.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, thank you. Those types of things, like getting a better animatronic for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you have it look like the Honda one in Smuggler's Run, like something like that,
Yeah, that might be a little bit wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we'd love to see that.
Oh yeah.
Even if we could just bring that up to like what Johnny Depp is.
Yeah,
You know,
that
something.
like that last animatronic. Yeah.
Just bring it alive more, because right now it's like almost like it still works for me. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's like it's almost like a mannequin on a string. You know, it's like
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
but the story's good, narration's good, and all that. So the ride will always work because of the story it tells. But we will miss you, Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
For 2.5 years for sure. There will be other things at Epcot to.
You know, it'll be weird. Like
to not
that
be up.
front of that park will be very strange. The way, even if you see pictures and videos of like how walled off it is right now. Now that's going to be close. So really, like the front of the entrance is like you're going to use it for a picture. That's about. I mean, there's no need to go up there.
It's a castle. It's Cinderella's castle right now.
So I'm happy.
Basically.
I'm not happy we're staying at Caribbean Beach, so like we'll always enter through the international gateway, so we won't have to worry about being up front, getting a bus in or anything. So that'll be nice.
And your next trip, you're gonna be maybe Ratatouille's open by then.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because they still haven't released a date yet. So
probably, I would say Memorial Day.
I would hope.
So you'll get probably those two.
Get that, and then and hopefully still haven't released the date of Space 220 yet. So hopefully that soon, so I can grab a reservation for that too.
Yeah, so you'll do okay. Yeah,
that'll be stuff. That'll be, that part will be good.
It's nice to go. It's nice when you go. Like, I go often enough. Like, the last 3 times I've been lucky with something new's been there.
Mm-hmm.
This time, Galaxy's Edge. I mean, you couldn't beat that. And then, Pandora, and then there was, right in the middle there last year was a whole new ride. I can't think of what it was at the time. Doesn't matter. Point being, when something's new, it's always cool to check something out that wasn't there before, and when you can do that, and we will do a lot of that over the next couple of years, and then obviously it'll probably flatline for a while, but it's either here or there.
Yeah, it'll be a big push for the 50th, and then it'll kind of slow down.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, well, who knows? Because Epcot's supposed to get all this stuff, all this overhaul stuff, so we'll probably see some reskins, like Coco and stuff like that, but I mean, nothing major, I think, after you get Guardians and Ratatouille in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the new Spaceship Earth, which I'm glad they're keeping it. Let's just be thankful that they're going to keep that and go forward with that for years to come. So, with that said, once again, want to reiterate, thanks everyone that listens, and I've had, we don't get a lot of, we've gotten a lot of subscribers over the last year, so like that's awesome. I mean, I literally just wanted 100 for a year. That was literally my goal. I said it a bunch of times on the show, and we have far surpassed that. And fingers crossed that we can far surpass expectations for the next year. Sarah's kind of come on. She's helped. She's got a Facebook page up now, so look out for that. We're gonna promote that. I'm working on the website. I don't know when I'm going to get a launch date yet, so I'm not going to say it on the show, but there will be a Quick This Takes website, which will be a lot better of a format to correspond with you guys from the podcast point of view, because I feel like the numbers that I'm seeing on iTunes and things like that, there are people listening. If they're not doing it on YouTube, the correspondence isn't great. Mm-hmm. So I think this will be a way to heighten that, knock on wood, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, once again, Johnny's handle, my handle is always here. I keep telling you guys, bug this guy on Twitter, he never uses it. You need to get him going. For all I know, this guy hasn't even been on, and there's hundreds of tweets his way. But
I'm on my secret secret page.
Yeah. So
tweet like crazy.
Anyway, excited about the site. Because I think it'll be cool. And season 2 of the documentary videos is now actually in production. So we will have something very soon, in about a 6 to 8 episode run for that. From probably April to September, like last year. And obviously the podcast. We keep banging them out. I'm trying to get Chris on board for some more free forms. I'm trying to get Sarah to come on here at some point when her video is because this video that we're working on now is Sarah's brainchild. So I'm hoping to get her on that week after that debuts to she can kind of discuss what she had to say about that, and then on the site we'll have a lot of articles, and I will hope to get people that are submitting articles. She's going to be one of the major ones, on here to discuss those as well as follow up. So a lot of different ideas. Some will stick, some won't. We still haven't done the cooking show. We got to get to that at some point. And we've been dragging that one out. So we will see. But with that, I'm still not going to give you any 100% date on that. But we are going to get that going. I think as things, maybe we get more time to do these things. So bear with us on that. Anyway, have a good week, and we will see you next week.